like my little bow. Also, this is one of my favorite shirts ever. I think it's literally one of the cutest things that I own. And I have absolutely no idea where I got it from. Um, so today we're diving back into Tales from the Front Desk. So straight into the stories, people. This one is from Tony the Critic. It's called Saturday Bloody Saturday. The hotel I work at thrives on corporate groups, conventions, annual meetings, retreats, etc., and weddings. Lots of weddings. All of those mean lots of wealthy people doing lots of drinking, and more than drinking too. Every weekend we're full, even right now in the off season, and every weekend we deal with a lot of really, really drunk people. So inevitably, we often get incidents that require calling an ambulance. This weekend, we got a lady who, trying to relate this without being overly gory, well, she tried to sit down while taking a sip of her drink, missed her seat, fell forward while taking a sip, and landed face first. So she has a face full of broken glass, tries to get up, but stumbles back down, face first again, in the broken glass. She tries to wipe her face, but her hand is now full of broken glass embedded into it. So she cuts herself even more, and quite badly. Tries to wipe her hand on her sleeve, cuts her arm badly. Just blood everywhere. Ugh. She's drunk and in shock, so she doesn't get what's happening and doesn't want us to call EMS. Even though a piece of her oh gosh. I should have read ahead on that one. Even though a piece of her nose is next to her on the floor. Not even kidding. Security overrules her and calls 911. The ambulance shows up almost 20 minutes later. Right off the bat, paramedic dude starts cursing and yelling at us that he's sick of getting calls from our hotel and we're lucky he came at all. The lady has gashes so bad on her face that we can barely stop the bleeding. The three of us have ruined our clothes. But this overweight neckbeard sent to treat her is venting his middle-aged frustration on us because he gets too many calls from this place for drunk people who hurt themselves. I used to work in a hospital. Saturdays are Saturdays. Everyone in healthcare hates Saturday nights and full moon nights. So I get his frustration. Heck, I'm sick of dealing with drunk people almost every single shift. But dude, that woman is bleeding pretty freaking badly from the face, and it's your job. What am I supposed to do about this? Tell people who pay 1.2K for a 2-night stay that they can't drink because that one EMS guy with a chip on his hairy shoulder is sick of drunk people? For once, I'm happy that everyone had their phones out. Hopefully, they'll post videos of that 40-watt light bulb ending his own career. Now, this one is more about the EMS guy than about the lady who hurt herself. Like, you know, when you're drinking and you slam your face into a glass, and that's not good, okay? And, you know, don't overdrink at events, people. It's never good. It never ends well, okay? Just try to keep your wits about you, okay? Stumbles happen, accidents happen, but you should still have enough, like, wits about yourself that you should realize, oh crap, this accident happened. I'm going to sit still and not cause more damage. But the EMS guy, okay, that is your job. That is your job. You signed up for this. You know that you're going to be a first responder. You signed up for that. That's all there is to it. Stop complaining about what you signed up for. If you don't like it, change your position. But to be that rude about it to someone who is in dire need of help, and to yell at the staff can't, make people not drink. It's not a dry hotel. That's it. Like, get it together, EMS dude. Next story. This one is from Fast Helicopter 7101, and of course it's our fault that you booked third party. Another one of these hotel stories from, a third party website. We talked about that last time. There's only so much you can do with a third party website. So, this is a long story. F Sunday mornings working alone. F them to heck and back. Okay? Helly is me. Karen is Karen. And the new DOO is the director of operations. So the story requires a little bit of background. This weekend we had a small group block for a 60th birthday celebration, and we had a special rate and everything for them. This one guest books third-party prepays somehow, despite claiming she booked through the group block code, and an old agent who used to work with me ended up taking the call from her, extending her reservation to 3 nights without noticing it was third party. The day comes around for the lady to check in, and we are, of course, extremely busy. It's just my DOO and I working the front desk. We're each tending to our lines, dealing with each guest when I notice my DOO is taking an unusually longer time with a guest check-in. But I can't go over to help him out as the line keeps growing as we check guests in. We were able to catch a breather and catch up with communications. He asked me to take a look at the reservation he was having difficulty with, as he couldn't understand their reservation. I take a look at the change log, and I see a third-party rate code. The reservation was modified to a rack rate code, and then the reservation extension by the XFDA. I'm going to be honest, I have no idea what some of these codes and abbreviations are, but we're just going to keep going in the hopes that we'll understand later in the story. I find the reservation in Crappedia, and I find out it's a one-night stay and quickly work on fixing the reservation by making it a one-night stay, putting the VCC on file, and making sure it's the payment method for the reservation. As I'm modifying the reservation and making the other 2 nights on the guest card, the guests stop by to put some items on the room from the market, and I tell them what's going on. They understand that the first night is already paid for, but are confused that the reservation isn't showing up as Crappedia reservations, as they claim it was never booked with them. I explained that's how the reservation came in, and I'm not sure how they intended to set up the reservation, but that's how it was received. She asked us to make sure we set up the group rate for her stay. I explained I cannot do so for that first night, as it was a prepaid reservation through the third party, but for the second night, I would accommodate that and send an email to my sales team to accommodate her reservation on the group block. The guest was a bit upset by that answer, but at least we're getting something done. The next day, I'm off, enjoying a cup of joe, and then I get a call from my DOO. He asks me where the second reservation is, as he can't find it. I tell him all the names of the 2 guests, nothing. The guests start getting upset on the other line, and then I remember the guests had attached their loyalty status to the reservation, so I asked them to look it up that way. Turns out, stupid Marshall ended up changing the primary reservation holder's name to the Bonvoy account holder instead of the additional guest. I also asked if we were able to match the group rate, and he confirmed it's on there. Fast forward to today, and it's Sunday. 133 to 150 rooms are checking out, and I'm all by myself. I'm handling the crowd of guests and a swarm of calls. Messages requesting late checkout the best I can, and then Karen shows up. Karen, hey, it's your favorite guest checking out. Can we get a receipt for our stay? Of course. Just wanted to remind you, I can only print a receipt from the reservation done through us. The first night's reservation, you will receive the billing from the third party. Karen, so I've been complaining about this the whole trip, and I'm not going to deal with this anymore. I'm just going to take the receipt you have from that first night. I'm not reaching out and calling anyone. Right there is where my lobby starts filling up with guests wanting market items charged to the room, the phones start blaring like crazy, and people start bombarding the front desk with just a quick question crap. By the way, stop doing that. If I'm busy, I'm busy. Okay? And it's the whole just a quick question. Wait till they're done with the person. I'm sorry. Just wait till they're done with the person. You know, Helly. Well, me. Well, unfortunately, I cannot do that. The amount you are paying Crappedia is not the same they are paying us for your stay, so it would be an inaccurate bill. So do you know what I was charged then? Because I have this confirmation here of $490, and I'm supposed to have a rate from the block. Right there is when I noticed she's on a third-party confirmation screen on her phone. I asked to see it, and it's through a stupid unknown travel agency. Right there is when I connect the dots in that she went through multiple third parties. The travel agency she booked used Crappedia to make their reservations. I went and explained to the guest the situation, and she became aggressive right after. Karen, I don't care what you're telling me. I called your hotel multiple times, and the person who I spoke to modified my reservation, and they didn't give me a hard time. What's so wrong here? Just print my bill. Me, as I've explained, ma'am, we just received the reservations, and your reservation came through a third-party service. We don't have any say in how you decide to make the reservation. We just receive them from the booking engine. Karen, this has been more confusing than it needs to be. I want my receipt that shows I paid for 3 nights on a special rate for our group. I'm going to have to leave a horrible review about your property. Be that as it may, you still decided to book with a third-party service, and we'll need to go through them. I have no other solutions to your problem, ma'am. For the other 2 nights, for the inconvenience, we did reduce your rate to that lower of your group rate. But I can do no more for your stay. Karen leaves in a huff, and guests keep bombarding me with all the crap she was holding the line up for, and I'm frankly done with today. Stop booking through third parties and make it seem like it's the hotel's fault when it's your fault you booked through them, and stop checking in at 12 p.m. when it's several hours before your check-in time and get mad at me for not having anything ready, especially on a Sunday. Now, this one, we've been through this in another story where we talked about booking through a third-party website, okay? The hotel can't change that because technically the third-party website is the one who made the reservation, okay? You have to, if you book through Expedia, Travel.com, or any of the other ones and stuff like that, if you book through those, you have to go through them. I'm going to be honest. I try not to. If we're traveling somewhere, I might try to see if I can get prices from those websites and see what kind of prices we're looking at. But then call the hotel directly to book my stay with them. It's easier to change stuff. I don't have to worry about trying to contact this uncontactable, service. Like, where do you even, does Expedia even have a customer service number? I'm sure they have to, but how easy is it to get a hold of someone? Seriously. So I like booking directly through the hotel, book through their website, book through their stuff, because it's easier that way. So thank you for listening to today's stories. Again, my name is Kelly. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.